Hi everybody. So I'm going to just invite Nicole to this live stream, which I'm super excited. Okay, there we go. I've just invited her. Nicole! That's like the
I
fastest
think
that
that was the
anybody's
easiest
ever
I've ever
joined.
seen it done. I think that was the most flawless I've ever seen like a live be joined. I feel like it's always about a 5 minute process of
Yeah.
okay, are you I think we crushed it. I think we knocked it apart.
I think we have absolutely crushed it. Hi everybody.
My
Nicole's
God.
already here a minute early.
My God, you guys are so
You're
early.
so you're so prompt. You're so on time. Okay, well, I'm just going to say hello to everybody, and then I'm going to introduce you as our lovely guest. So, hi, everybody. Izabela Vidovic and Nicole Maines here. I co-run this account that you're all on, Almost Normal Productions. We are a female-run film and TV production company. Our content, aside from our films, basically just focuses on talking about everyday human struggles that you and I and Nicole and all of us deal with. And so Nicole and I are here to just dabble in some of those topics that Almost Normal Productions covers all the time. So hi,
Hi,
Nicole. This is Nicole
hi, girl.
Maines. You all know we were in Supergirl together. And I'm just super excited to have you on. So I'm just going to jump right on in. I'm going to jump right on in and just get into the topics that we discussed earlier. So
Fabulous.
you, Nicole, have been in the spotlight, obviously. So with that experience, what can you say and how you have experienced yourself in that? Like, have you always felt worthy of that attention?
Well, it's weird because a lot of the attention sort of started, first of all, coming in a not so positive way, as it always seems to do. And second, it was, acting sort of came second later. Originally, I was getting all this attention because I was trying to use the bathroom, and it was, becoming a whole thing. And so I've always had a weird relationship with the attention because it feels so much like I don't think it's an issue of like not being worthy, but it feels more like there's so much attention for something that's like, one, I don't really control. Two, I can't really help.
Mm-hmm.
Three is not that big a deal. So it's very weird to kind of have my success and have this attention sort of stemming from my transness or from well, my transness, frankly.
Yeah.
Um, which is weird because it's kind of like it's like well, I didn't really do anything, and really,
Right. So
this,
was it? So what you're saying is like your attention initially was just like not sought out.
yeah, it sort of you know slammed into me like a semi truck. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of like, in at that point in time, I would have given nothing to have less attention. I was like, please don't look at me. Don't, I just wanted to be left alone. Um, and now I think it's created a weird relationship with my professional life because now it feels so much not undeserved, not never, because I know I worked very hard and I'm always trying to remind myself, what I did to get where I am, and you know I had to bust my own back. But there's always a part of me that I think, and I'm sure you struggled with this too, but the imposter syndrome is real, especially when you're on such a big show like this. And when I joined, I was talking to my acting coach about this yesterday, and it was like Supergirl was my school, and that's where I learned to do so much of my acting, and coming onto it. I was so fresh and I was so green, and I hadn't had any formal training, and so trying to keep up with Melissa and Kyler and Katie and David, it's like, oh God, and Jesse, don't even get me started on doing, I mean, you know, it's just like,
Yeah.
you forget you're in a scene. You're just like, I was just watching the show. And so
But it's
trying to
like the
keep up with
coolest
these
kind of
guys,
school, you
totally. Oh,
know?
absolutely. The coolest kind of school. And you know, I learned more on set than I ever would have otherwise. But it's scary then when, you know, your trials and errors are, you know, being cut and filmed and shown to people, and it doesn't really give you that room to fail. And so you're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to try to do really good. But you know, it's never that I feel unworthy of
Okay.
attention or of my career or anything. But sometimes it feels like I I don't know, like I feel like, you know, every day someone's gonna, you know, every day going to set, I was like, this is gonna be my last day on set. They're gonna find out I don't know how to act. I don't know how to do any of this. They cast the wrong girl. They're gonna be like, they're like, oh my God, such a funny mistake. We cast Nicole Maines. We meant to cast like Nicole Maines or like there was a letter wrong or
Right.
something. But they
I
never
think
did,
it's
and they never caught
interesting
on to.
though, like I think what you're saying is really interesting because you said that, you know, initially when you received attention, like aside from being an actor, it was completely unwanted, not thought out. And then you chose to be an actor. So like how did that even happen? Like how did going from getting attention that you don't want go to basically like somewhat seeking attention even if it's in a
Yeah,
different
yeah. Well,
way?
I mean, first of all, if they're gonna be talking about you anyway, you may as well make it. Oh, is that popping my mic? I've been wondering what that was this whole time. Hi guys.
I don't think I heard anything.
I have like I've just moved, so my TV, I mean my phone setup is boxes and two pencils.
Yeah,
So
I'm just holding my
we're
phone,
being
so.
crafty this morning. Um, no, so I mean, I sort of figured at 1.1 they're gonna be talking about me anyway, so they may as well say something good. Second, dressing up for me was always a safe space, and it was always that sort of opportunity I had to portray characters and wear clothes that I liked and that I felt comfortable with.
Mhm.
And I think that is sort of where my love for acting came from, because I mean, what is acting except really dress up? So
Yeah.
I just sort of started doing that in school, in middle school and high school, and just doing high school theater and loving it and having a great time. And so when I did my first guest starring appearance on a TV show, I did Royal Pains in 2015. Um,
Mhm.
that was, I mean, it was like a whole world opened up to me. And I was like, this is just, first of all, adult dress up.
Yes.
Second of all, it was just like, can I do this forever? The sets, the lights, the costumes, the attention to detail. I remember walking onto set and just being blown away by the set design and being like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is like being in another place. This is so, and then looking up and there's no ceiling. It was the trippiest thing. And I thought it was so cool. And I wanted to just keep doing it forever. And I just wanted to play around and have fun. And so I was like, yeah,
So that's, I mean, I think that's awesome because it shifted your perspective, attention from something negative to something positive, hopefully.
pardon, you cut out there for a second. What'd you say?
I said I think it's awesome because it shifted your perspective on receiving attention from something negative to hopefully something
Totally.
positive.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta change your own narrative. You gotta you know, I don't know if we're swearing on this, sorry. Um, but
Okay.
you know, you you have to take control of, I mean, as you know, I know this cliched something, you have to control your own destiny. But really you do.
You
And you
do.
know, and you know, you know, I hate stuff like that and I'm like, ugh. But it is kind of true.
There's a
And
reason
it
that it's a bumper sticker, you know?
absolute, there is a reason it's a bumper sticker. Thank you.
Mhm.
you know, because you have to, and you have to seize control because frankly, nobody else is going to.
No, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that I love hearing your perspective on this, and because I've talked to other actors about, hey, like, how do you feel about the fact that you suddenly have all this attention on you and you're just doing really like what is to you is a job. You know, somebody else is going to their job and this is you going to your job, but
Totally.
you're in the spotlight for it. Like, how do you feel?
It's
And I think
weird.
it's interesting having
It's
you talk
weird.
about it, because you're like, well, I've had attention on me. I didn't like it, and then now I've stepped into this, and it's a lot better.
It's different. Yeah. I mean, and obviously there are always, you know, positives and negatives to everything.
Yeah.
And there are some days where I'm just like, and this is to everybody watching. If I'm not on Twitter, she's taking a mental health day. It's cool. Um, Sometimes I'll go long
Yes.
periods of time without using any social media just because I'm like, I do not have the emotional energy to participate in the world today. And
And
that's
sometimes
fine.
that's okay.
That's fine.
You
Yeah.
know.
And I think there's a weird aspect to our job too, where a big part of our job is being ourself, you know, and this part of our job, you know, there's the part of our
Yeah.
job that's literally not being ourself and being somebody else for, you know, 20 minutes.
Right.
And then the rest of it, social media and lives and all this stuff is about being yourself. And so I was just kind of like, well, I'm getting judged for it already, so may as well just keep doing what I'm doing.
Well,
Why not?
yeah. Totally. I think what you said is super interesting too, because I never thought about it like that. It's like, oh, we're going, like, you sign up when you're signing up to act or to perform or whatever. You know, you think that you're signing up to play pretend and to play characters, but you know, you really are signing up for an obligation to also like put yourself out there as a person.
Oh,
And to
totally.
whatever degree you're comfortable. I mean, it's not that you have to share yourself with the world and share every bit of your life, but you know,
No, of
people,
course not.
when they
That's
watch
insane.
your work, like, they want to know you and they want to get
Yeah,
to know who you are a
absolutely.
little bit.
Well, exactly. And I think that that's true for anybody. I think that we always benefit from just being ourselves. You know, it's the only job you can do 100%. You gotta be yourself because everyone else is already taken.
Already taken.
But you know,
You see how I
I think
finished that off? It's like I knew what you were going to say.
I mean, that was magic.
Thank you.
But I think, you know, I think there is so much of our job that's, you know, every second is under the microscope and you're always being watched. And and it's like it's exactly like you said, you know, you're just going to work and you're just trying to do your job and it's you know, this whole phenomenal thing. So, you know, I think there's no point in not. You just have to be yourself and you just have to, you know, because and I was talking about this with some friends last night. I was like,
Mhm.
when you're constantly on social media and you're constantly sort of in this spotlight,
Mhm.
there really isn't a point to not being yourself, I think, because they're gonna find out eventually. You know, eventually the cover's gonna be blown and they're gonna be like, oh, this is who this person is.
Right. Like we thought.
So it's like so
Right. No,
that's why I wear
absolutely.
sweatpants because I'm trying to give people a realistic, you know, just understanding of what I am and what I'm about. And that's
Yeah.
sweatpants.
No, I mean, and that's exactly, like, you just present yourself in the way that you know is the truest to who you are. And if people don't like it, then that's fine. And if they like it, then even better.
Exactly.
Completely agree. Well, okay, so on that note, I want
Just be
to,
yourself and people will there will be people who appreciate that and there will be people who don't appreciate that
mhm,
and that's fine
and that's fine.
because
Um,
you'll notice when you're being yourself and you're just being open and honest, you care less about what other people think.
this is
Because you
true.
know what I mean? Because you're happy, you're like, well, I'm living my GD life, so it doesn't really matter. But and we start to concern ourselves more with what other people think when
Mhm.
we are not really living our lives to the fullest and we are not really fully being ourselves.
Yes.
Then you start to be more concerned with what other people think.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know.
you're hiding something, and you're like, are they on to me? Oh my God, did they know? But when you're
No, I
just,
mean,
you
it's
know, when you lay
totally
it
so
out
much
there, it's
easier to
very
just,
freeing.
to
Yeah,
just be, yeah, to just be honest. I think
totally.
that's kind of the big takeaway is just being honest,
Absolutely.
and it can be to whatever degree. Like I said, you don't have to share all of yourself with the
No, that's
world,
ludicrous. Yes.
but you don't have to like put up a false face either.
Yeah, just make sure what you do share is honest. That's what
Yeah.
people connect with. That's what art is. That's what the best performances are, you know.
Mhm.
It's I feel like I'm always hearing this like, "Oh, you're an actor. You must be such a good liar." Like I'm the worst liar. Tried to convince people that I was cisgender for 2 years and it didn't really work because they were onto me. Um,
They were on to me.
no, fully. Oh my God. So I was in, sidebar, I was in an acting troupe, a girls' acting troupe.
Uh-huh.
And I was stealth at the time. I was in the closet. And I was walking down the stairs with this girl who was in my class. And she was like, yeah, I'm so great. I'm so happy to have you here in this group. You know, you couldn't be here if you were trans. And I was like, ha ha, that'd be crazy. It was like every siren was, and I had the moment because we were in the stairwell, and I was like, I could push her over the edge.
Right.
I could make it look like a bloody accident.
You could have,
I was like,
and would you have been judged for it? I don't know.
I mean, would I have been judged? The answer, as an adult, yes, I would have. For murder, thank you.
But is the thought process understood?
Yes. Exactly. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I was watching this TikTok of a trans comedian, and she was doing a bit about Buffalo Bill, and talking about. She's like, "Listen, now I'm not saying I condone, you know,
Oh
trapping
no.
cis girls in wells and making suits out of their skin, but as a trans girl, I get it."
It's that thing of like, no, it's not right. It's not right. But do I
It's not
understand where
right,
your
but I
thought
get it.
came from?
Yeah, I see how we got there.
Right. I compute how we ended up there.
Totally.
Completely. No, I mean, I think that and that exact story that you just told literally goes back to like that feeling of like I was not true to myself, you know, like I was hiding something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If Buffalo Bill had just been able to be Buffalo Bill, none of that would have happened. None of that would have
Right.
ever happened.
I feel like that's kind of the moral of like every story. It's like when somebody is not able to be honest, to be fully themselves, you know, it
You're like,
always
you're
lands
unhappy. And you make
horribly.
it other people's problem.
Yeah, you do. It's like it's nobody's problem but your own.
Oh, absolutely. No, well, you know, it's when, and that's what I was talking about. You know, when you're so busy not being yourself, you put the focus elsewhere and you make it other people's problems. And you're so
Right.
concerned with what other people think, how other people are perceiving you, because you're trying to be like, are they perceiving me in the right way that I want them to be perceiving me?
Mhm.
Whereas when you take all of that away and you're just like, I'm just going to be myself.
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest about it.
Mhm.
And then I know it's right. And you can't get it wrong if it's the truth. No, Pure
Yeah.
Nico said that. Thank you. Um, but you know, you just, you know, you care less when you're happy, when you are yourself, and that was what I learned when I transitioned, and that's ultimately, you know, one of the things that helped my parents get on board is they saw how drastically different I was between
Mhm.
living as someone who was not being themselves
Mhm.
versus when I was able to come out and be myself and I express myself the way I wanted to. I was less of an asshole. I was a really assholey 5-year-old. Like I was a shitty kid. But she was like this and mean. But I was happy. And I seriously I had so much stress issues and depression and anxiety and anger at such a young age.
Mhm.
And then when I was able to be myself, that all just kind of melted away. Because it's like, it's all of that is just stemming from, or speaking for myself, it was all stemming from my own experience. No, I did not used to beat up Jonas, my brother. I just felt like that needed to be addressed. I was an asshole. I wasn't that kind of an asshole. Thank
I
you.
saw that come in and I was like, don't address?
Yes,
I'm glad you did.
6 years old, he came down the stairs, clotheslined him. Just because I could. Damn it. I said, if I don't get to be happy, you don't get a non-broken nose.
Right.
And so,
But here we are.
yeah. But here we are, 20 years later. He's fine.
He's fine and you're fine.
He's better for it.
Right. Oh, that's good. I think that well, I mean, we started with one topic, but I kind of like how it's shifted into something bigger, which is that unless you're true to yourself and unless you're not lying to others about who you are and what you'll always be.
Well, it all goes back to, self-worth, worthiness. Oh, do I deserve to be? It's all a self-esteem issue. It's all, inner perception and, your own kind of perception of yourself is never going to be like 100% accurate, I think, because, we are our own worst critic. Well, either we are our own worst critic or we are our own biggest fan. And I think there's a halfway medium happy point where I am realistic about how good I am and how bad I am at the same time. And that's balance.
I agree. I mean,
damn it, I'm a Libra.
Yeah, Libra, Gemini, we've got the air signs in here. I forget that.
Yeah.
Look at that. No, I mean, absolutely. And I think that it's like you got to be your own worst critic. You've got to be your biggest fan. You've got to be everything in between.
Totally.
And you've got to be true to yourself. And I feel like my mom used to always tell me that, like, that's one thing that I always took, that I feel like that's one of, like, a handful of things that, when you're a child, like, you're fed a lot. But I think that was something that I really took away was it's like all you have is your word. You have your honesty. And you have yourself, and it's like if
you are the only person you can control. Everything else is completely out of your control.
Right.
You can only control what is right here, so you may as well do something good with it.
Right, something.
Yeah, it's the only thing. Well, it's like being yourself is the only thing under your own control. So it's like how are you? You may as well do it.
Yeah, completely.
It's the only job you can do.
Does anybody here have anything to say about this? Any questions about our general conversation? I'm opening the floor. I'm also taking the time to look through some comments. If you have anything, Nicole, that you want to answer, feel free. Even if it has to do about beating up your brother.
Yeah. Justice for Jonas.
Oh, no. That's going to start trending. That would be hilarious. Oh, I love all these
he's going to trend it. I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to go on Twitter later, and he's going to be like, it's all true. Finally, my side of the story.
Right. It's out.
Totally.
Somebody said for myself, it's hard to be myself because I am so considerate of everyone else's thoughts and expectations that I lose myself, and now I don't know what I am passionate for anymore or what I enjoy doing.
That is such a major struggle, and that is so real, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I think I don't know about you, I'm a people pleaser. I will bend over backwards. I will put myself in harm's way if it means somebody else is halfway okay. If it means I'll totally, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, yeah, totally. Just don't be mad at me.
Right.
And it's, you have to, and that comes with, and it all comes back to honesty and being honest with yourself. And if you don't want to do something, you do not have to do that thing. and that's fine.
And you're
Because
not a
I
bad
think
person for
we
it.
could all benefit from, and I think we're all kind of trapped in this, or most of us. Some people are really good at saying no, and you know, more power to those people because I'm jealous of them. But you know, I think it all comes back to honesty, and I think we all have something to gain by saying no a little bit more often. I think we'd all be happier. I think we'd all benefit from giving ourselves the freedom to say no, wouldn't you?
No, I mean, completely. I think that I meant to say yes. No, you know when you say no, but you mean yes?
Well, we're also talking about saying no, so you're like, no, wait.
Right. But do you know do you ever do that, just like a little sidebar, do you ever do that where you go, no, yes, or yeah, no, all the time, all the time?
Mine is, no, yeah. Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
that
That's
was
mine. I'm
that
like,
moment.
yeah, no. And my mother's like, so what the fuck do you mean?
Which one is it? Well, in this case, my no
She's
was
like,
a
were you
yes.
going for clarity? Because it didn't hit.
It didn't. It didn't. But I'm glad you got it. So I was saying, yes,
Thanks.
I understand what you're saying, and I think that
I follow.
you know, there's this general human condition where we all want to be able to be there for each, which is beautiful, by the way. But many of us, we
Oh,
want
yeah,
to be
no.
able to be there for the people we love. We want to be able to give and give all of ourselves. But then, you know, you can't do that if you've drained all of yourself, and then you're going to have nothing left to give to you or to the people you love.
Yeah, well, you know, you can uplift other people without hurting yourself and tearing yourself down and putting yourself in a gross, awful position where you're
Right.
just totally spent. Like, everyone will understand if you're like, hey, no, I just don't have it in me today. That's
Right.
like just like what I was talking about earlier with like social media, where sometimes I just like get off of it and I'm like, I just don't have the emotional energy. Nobody's mad at me for that.
No.
Unless I mean, comments, check the comments. Are y'all mad at me? They're gonna be like, yes!
Yes, get back
Uh,
on.
yeah. But it's like, you know, if you just don't have it, nobody's gonna be angry at you. Or rather, nobody worth it will be angry at you for you
Yeah.
being like, no, I just need to take a second for me. Because
Mhm.
guarantee we've all been there and we've all been like, I need a second.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Take it. Take a second, take a minute, take a day, you
Take
know.
care of you. You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, completely. I think this is just a great overall reminder, no matter whether you guys are performers or whether you are not performers, whether you're creative, not creative, whatever
This
it
is
is that
good
you
advice
do.
for anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody benefits from just being more honest with themselves, being open about who they are. Unless we are a mega person, then you should change that right away because people are going to find out. Um,
Right.
and you know, just take care of you. Just take care of yourself, you guys. Drink water. This is your daily reminder to drink water.
I don't think I've had any water today. I don't think I've had any water today.
Neither have
Thank
I.
you. I'm going to have like a giant jug of water after this. I've had coffee.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a friend yesterday, and he bought a Four Loko. I don't think I've ever seen a person
To
drink a Four
carry
Loko
one?
in person. It was
Right.
bizarre.
That is bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen anybody just bring one to like a hang.
I tried some.
Yeah.
How do people put that?
I don't know.
It
I
was
don't know.
like watermelon gasoline.
Yeah, it tends to have that effect on the body.
I feel like I'm a fire hazard. I feel like I am like I feel like my body is a fire hazard. Like I feel like
Right
you get
after
me near an
having
open
consumed
flame
it.
and I'm just gonna like ignite.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you know.
I mean, I think I knew.
Okay. Yeah. You just had it confirmed.
I think I knew.
You're like, I didn't.
I was like,
Thank you.
anyway.
Thank you, but also thank you. I like that. I like that we've gone from be yourself, be true to yourself, to Four Loko is watermelon gasoline, and I don't want anything to do with it.
We're really covering the whole range of
whole range of
the
topics.
human experience.
Yeah.
We're talking about everything that matters today.
So,
love yourself. Be true to yourself. Take care of you. Don't drink Four Loko.
And that's that. I think we need to end it there because I don't think I have a better ending. So
and frankly, I don't think you're gonna find one.
Yeah, I think before we ruin it, that's where we have to cut this out. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me and Nicole. I hope that you enjoyed us talking about the human experience, and I hope that you enjoy all of these types of topics that we cover here at Almost Normal Productions. And Nicole, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Thank you so much for this. I had so much fun.
I'm so glad that we could do this. So,
Me too.
mwah.
And I'll see you in LA, girl.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, we're both finally in LA, so yay. All right, well, I'm going to talk to you on FaceTime instead of this. So.
All right. Bye, guys.
Everybody.